You ever notice how people love a good deal? Oh, they'll line up for hours, chase discounts, clip their little coupons, all for the thrill of getting something worth more than what they paid. But when it comes to tithing, oh, suddenly the price doesn't matter. Suddenly they're throwing their money away with a smile, no questions, no hesitation, just handing it over, believing, trusting that somewhere, somehow, this transaction is buying them something bigger. Money? Oh, now that's something people understand. They know how it works, how it moves, how it controls. But when it comes to tithing, oh, suddenly all that street smart thinking, all that common sense just poof, vanishes. Suddenly, money isn't money anymore. No, no, no. It's a gift, an offering, a holy contribution. And the ones taking it, oh, they know exactly what they're doing. Because what's better than a business where the customers don't ask questions, where they don't demand receipts, where they willingly hand over their cash and thank you for taking it? See, people love to believe they're part of something bigger, something divine, and what's divinity without a little sacrifice? So they pay, and they pay, and they pay. And the ones collecting, oh, they don't have to sell anything real, no, no, no. They don't have to offer a product, a service, anything you can hold in your hands. No refunds, no guarantees, just faith. And oh, what a brilliant little system that is. Because here's the joke. If someone on the street came up to you, smiled real big and said, "Hey buddy, give me 10% of everything you make every single time you get paid, and trust me, you'll get something amazing later," you'd laugh. You'd walk away. You'd call them a con artist, a scammer, a lunatic. But when someone in a robe says it, when it's got the right lighting, the right music, the right crowd, oh, suddenly it's sacred. Suddenly it's an honor to hand over your hard-earned money, to scrape together what little you have, to make sure they are taken care of. And let's talk about them for a second, huh? The ones with their hands out. Whew. They tell you to be humble, to live modestly, to give, and yet somehow they are never the ones struggling. Somehow they are never the ones wondering how to pay rent, how to put food on the table, how to stretch every last dollar until the next paycheck. No, no, no. They live well. They have nice things. They don't worry the way you do. And why should they? They've built a business where the money never stops coming in, where the customers don't question the prices, where guilt and fear do all the marketing for them. And the best part, the absolute masterpiece of it all, they've convinced you that if you don't pay, you're the one in the wrong. You're the greedy one. You lack faith. You don't trust enough. They turn the screws, make you doubt yourself, make you feel guilty for even thinking about keeping your own money. Because, oh, that's the secret, isn't it? People don't just want your money. No, no, no. They want control. And there's no better way to own someone than to make them feel like their soul is at risk if they don't obey. So you pay, because what choice do you have? You don't want to be a sinner, a doubter, a selfish little nobody. You want to be good, don't you? You want to believe you're doing the right thing. You want to make sure you're on the right side of things when the final bill comes due. And the ones collecting, oh, they know that. They count on that. Because at the end of the day, tithing isn't about faith. It isn't about generosity. It's about business. And in business, the house always wins fear. Oh, now that's the real currency. More valuable than gold, more reliable than the stock market, more powerful than any law or government. Because people, they'll always pay to make fear go away. They'll hand over their last dollar, empty their pockets, beg to be saved, as long as someone convinces them that without this, without paying up, something bad is going to happen. And when it comes to tithing, fear is the product they sell. See, they don't just ask for money. No, that would be too honest, too simple. Instead, they warn you, they caution you, they slip little whispers into your mind, soft at first, but do they grow. If you don't give, you might not be blessed. If you hold on to what's yours, you might not be protected. If you keep what you've earned, you might just find yourself losing everything. And that's the trick, isn't it? They don't threaten you outright. No, that would be too easy to ignore. Instead, they suggest. They let the fear creep in. Let it take root. Let you be the one to convince yourself that maybe, just maybe, they're right. And once that fear settles in, you belong to them. Because now, every time life takes a bad turn, every time things don't go your way, that little voice in your head starts whispering again. Maybe you didn't give enough. Maybe you should have sacrificed more. Maybe this is happening because you doubted. And what's the solution? They have just the thing, just a little more, just a little extra, just a demonstration of faith. That's all it takes to fix everything, to get yourself back on the right track, to make sure you're still in the good graces of whoever's watching from above. And the ones collecting, they love this game. They know that a frightened person is an obedient person. They know that when people are scared, they don't think, they don't question, they don't fight back, they just comply. Because what's worse, handing over a chunk of your paycheck or spending every night tossing and turning, wondering if you just made the biggest mistake of your life? And fear, it's a funny little thing. It doesn't just go away. It lingers, it clings. It makes sure that every time you hesitate, every time you consider keeping your money, a little chill runs down your spine. And the best part? The absolute masterpiece of it all? They don't even have to prove anything. No evidence, no receipts, no real connection between what you pay and what happens to you. Just words, just stories, just enough to make you think, what if they're right? What if I stop giving and suddenly everything falls apart? Because, people love their little safety nets. They love to believe they have some kind of control over the chaos of life. And if handing over a few bills every week means they can sleep a little easier, means they don't have to worry, well, that's a bargain. And what happens when someone stops? When someone dares to break the cycle, to hold on to their money, to say, hey, wait a second, maybe this doesn't make sense. That's when the real fun begins. That's when the others get involved. They start watching you, judging you. They start warning you, just like they were warned. You careful. Don't turn your back on faith. You don't want to bring bad things into your life because they're just as scared as you used to be. They need you to keep paying, to keep believing, because if you stop, then maybe, just maybe, they'll have to question, why they're still doing it. And that, that's something they can't afford. Because fear, it doesn't just trap people, it spreads, it infects. And the ones in charge, they'll do anything to make sure nobody ever wakes up and realizes they were never in danger at all. Funny thing about money, have you ever noticed who gives the most? Oh, it's not the rich, no. It's not the ones sitting up in their nice homes, eating their expensive meals, driving their shiny cars. No, the real givers, the ones who scrape together their last few bills, who drop their coins in the plate with shaking hands, who go home to empty fridges and overdue bills. Those are the ones keeping this whole thing running. The poor give, the rich collect. And the rich, they smile, they nod, they bless you for it. And then they go back to their full plates, their comfortable lives, their untouched sacrifice. It's a beautiful little trick, isn't it? Convincing the ones who have nothing that it's their job to keep the machine running, that it's their duty, their moral obligation to give and give and give, while the ones at the top sit back and take. And the best part? They make it seem like a privilege. They tell you it's an honor to give, that it's a sign of faith, of devotion, of character, that the more you struggle, the more valuable your sacrifice is. And that's the joke, isn't it? Because if that were really true, if struggling was so noble, if having less was so holy, then why do the ones preaching it always seem to have so much? They'll tell you they earned it, that they were blessed for their faith, rewarded for their giving, that if you just keep giving, keep trusting, keep emptying your pockets week after week, maybe, you'll get there too. But somehow, it never quite works that way, does it? No, because there's a line between the ones who give and the ones who collect, and it's a line you're never meant to cross. You're meant to stay on your side, head down, hands open, waiting for something that never comes. And the ones in charge, they love it. They need you to stay there. Because if the poor ever stopped giving, if they ever realized that their sacrifices were just filling someone else's pockets, the whole thing would fall apart. The rich wouldn't be able to sit up in their grand buildings, wouldn't be able to stand on their grand stages, wouldn't be able to live off the blind obedience of the ones below. And the poor, they'd finally see the joke for what it is. But no, we can't have that, so they keep the cycle going. Keep you grateful to give. Keep you hoping that one day if you just sacrifice enough, you'll finally get your reward. And every time it doesn't happen, maybe you just didn't give enough. Maybe you need to try harder. Give more. Believe stronger. Because, it's never their fault, is it? No. It's yours. And you know the funniest part? The rich never have to give the way you do. They might donate a little here and there. They might announce their generosity with a big smile and a round of applause, but it's never a sacrifice for them. No. Because when you've got everything, giving away a little means nothing. But when you've got nothing, they expect you to give everything. And they don't just expect it, they demand it. They shame you if you hesitate, make you feel like you're ungrateful, like you owe them, like you owe something to a system that's never done anything for you. So you give You give and you struggle and you suffer and you hope. And the ones collecting, oh, they just keep smiling, keep telling you that one day, one glorious day, you'll get your reward. But let's be honest, who's really getting rewarded here? Who's really benefiting from all this sacrifice? It's not the ones in the back rows, the ones counting their last few bills, the ones wondering how they'll make it to next week. No, 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 it's the ones who never have to wonder, the ones who sit back and watch while the poor keep the whole thing afloat. And the joke? Oh, the joke is that the poor are the only ones who don't see it. Funny thing about faith, isn't it? It's supposed to be free, supposed to be pure. Supposed to be between you and whatever's up there. No middleman, no price tag, no membership fee. But oh, somewhere along the way, someone got a bright idea. Someone realized there's nothing easier to sell than something invisible. No factory costs, no overhead, no product at all. Just belief. Just words. Just promises. And suddenly, faith wasn't free anymore. Suddenly, it came with a bill. Suddenly, if you really, really believed, you had to prove it with money. Now think about that. Just think for a second. If something's real, if something's powerful, if something's as divine as they claim, why would it need your money? Why would it care about dollars and cents? Why would it have fees and dues and financial requirements? Oh, but they have an answer for that, don't they? They say it's not about money, no, no, no. It's about faith, about trusting, about showing that you're committed, demonstrating that you believe. But that's the joke, isn't it? Because why is money the only way to prove that? Why not kindness? Why not love? Why not actual good deeds? Because, oh, kindness doesn't pay salaries. Love doesn't buy private jets. Good deeds don't build golden buildings. No, no, no. They need money, and they tell you it's for a good cause. They tell you it's for the work, for the mission, for spreading the message. But what they don't tell you is how much of that money actually goes to any of that. What they don't tell you is how much stays right in their own pockets. How much pays for their comfort, their lifestyle, their little empire of faith-based finances. And the best part? Oh, the best part is that they don't have to force anyone. They don't have to demand it. No, they make people want to give. Make them afraid not to. Make them feel like if they don't, they're somehow less faithful, less worthy, less holy. They whisper little things. God gives to those who give. The more you sow, the more you'll reap. You can't expect blessings if you don't invest in faith. And oh, what a perfect little scam. Because suddenly, they're not even asking for your money anymore. No, no, you are the one handing it over, begging to give, hoping it's enough. And every time life gets hard, every time things don't go your way, what do they tell you? Do they say, hey, maybe things are just random? Do they say, hey, life is unpredictable, maybe it's got nothing to do with how much you gave? Ooh, no, no, no. They tell you it's your fault. They tell you maybe you didn't give enough, maybe you didn't believe enough, maybe you held back just a little too much, and that's why things aren't working out for you. And the cycle, oh, it never ends. Because every time something good does happen, every time a little luck comes your way, they claim it. They tell you, this is proof. This is why you should keep giving. This is why the system works. But when bad things happen, oh, suddenly it's all about your failure, your lack of faith, your missed opportunity. They've set it up so that no matter what happens, the answer is always the same. Give more. Give more. Give more. And people do. Because deep down, they want to believe it's all for something, that it means something, that their sacrifices aren't just filling someone else's wallet. But the truth, the truth is uglier than they'd ever want to admit, because this isn't about faith, it isn't about blessings, it isn't about any of that. It's about a business that only survives if the customers keep believing they have to pay. And as long as people are scared, as long as they're desperate, as long as they think their money is tied to their fate, this little scheme will never run out of customers. Funny thing about guilt, isn't it? It doesn't need chains, doesn't need bars, doesn't need locks or guards or fences. No. Guilt is the perfect prison because you build it yourself. You wake up in it, go to sleep in it, carry it around wherever you go. And the best part, the best part is that you don't even realize you're locked up. You think you're free. You think you're just being good. You think it's your own choice. That's the magic of it. That's the little trick. And when it comes to tithing, guilt is the real product they're selling. See, they don't just ask you to give. That would be too easy, too simple, too avoidable. No, they make you feel like you owe it, like it's not yours to begin with. They twist the words, twist the message, twist the whole idea until suddenly your money isn't really your money at all. It's just something you're borrowing, something you're holding on to for a little while, until you hand it over, of course. And if you don't, that's when the guilt starts creeping in. That's when you start hearing the little whispers. Are you really so selfish? Do you really think you deserve to keep all of it? What if something happens because you didn't give? And there it is, that last one, fear. Fear and guilt, the best of friends. Because guilt alone might not be enough. You might ignore it, push it away, tell yourself you'll give later. But fear? Fear is the thing that makes you act. Fear is what keeps you up at night, what puts a little weight on your chest, what makes sure you never feel quite at ease until you pay up. And they know this, they count on it, they design it this way. They know that if they just get you to feel that little twinge, that little nagging feeling, then they don't need to chase after you for money. No. You'll come to them. You'll walk right into their arms, wallet open, begging to hand it over. And what do? They smile. They comfort you. They relieve you. They tell you you've done the right thing, that you're forgiven, that you're now back on the right track. But here's the joke. The guilt, it never really leaves. It just waits. Because you're never done, are you? There's always more to give, more to sacrifice, more to prove. And if you ever stop, if you ever hesitate, they notice, they watch. Maybe not openly, maybe not directly, but they see. And they make sure you see it too. They make sure you feel it. A little comment here, a little frown there, a story about what happens to those who don't give. And suddenly, you're not just questioning your choices, you're questioning yourself. Are you a bad person? Are you ungrateful? built by guilt, back inside. Your little prison of guilt, built brick by brick, with their words, their warnings, their carefully placed reminders. And the funniest thing, the ones collecting, oh, they never feel guilty, not one bit. They don't lay awake at night wondering if they've taken too much, if maybe they should be the ones giving. No, no, no. Because guilt isn't for them. Guilt is for the ones below, the ones paying, the ones feeding the whole system. The ones on top, oh, they sleep just fine. They enjoy what they take. They justify it. They tell themselves they deserve it, that they're just doing what's right, that they earned it. And the real joke, the real punchline, they've convinced you that they're the good guys, that they're the righteous ones, that they're helping you. But in reality, they're just running the perfect little business, one where the customers never question the product, never complain about the price, and always come back for more. And as long as that guilt is still there, as long as you let them hold that weight over your head, the cash will keep flowing, the machine will keep running, and the ones at the top, oh, they'll keep laughing. Funny thing about power, isn't it? It's never about who's right or who's wrong. It's not about truth, not about fairness, not about justice. No, no, no. It's about who controls the story, about who decides what's right, what's wrong, what's holy, what's sinful. And the best part, the ones in charge don't even have to prove anything. They don't need evidence, don't need logic, don't need a single shred of reason. No, no, no. All they need is for enough people to believe it. And once they do, that's it. That's power. That's how the game is played. Take tithing. Oh, it started as a suggestion, a little encouragement, a small reminder to be generous, to support the community, to give out of the goodness of your heart. But somewhere along the way, oh, that little suggestion turned into a rule. That rule turned into a demand. That demand turned into law. And now it's a sin if you don't. Now it's a test of faith. Now it's the difference between being blessed and being cursed. And the ones in charge, oh, they just sit back and watch as people fall in line one by one, dropping their hard-earned money into the hands of men who never seem to have enough. But let's talk about who made this rule. Who actually decided that you have to give? Was it some divine voice, some booming command from the sky? Or was it, oh, let's think, men? Men who just so happened to be in charge? Men who just so happened to benefit from the rule they created? Men who sit in their golden halls dressed in their fine robes, telling the ones below them that if they don't give, they're disobedient, that they're greedy, that they're turning away from God. Oh, what a convenient little system. And the real trick, the real magic of it all, they don't have to force anyone. No, 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 that would be too obvious. That would make people question things. Instead, they just convince you that you want to give, that you should give, that it's not them taking your money, it's you giving it. Willingly, happily, gratefully. And if you ever stop to ask, wait a second, why am I doing this? Where is this money really going? Oh, well, they have an answer for that too. They say it's for the church, for the work of God, for the greater good. But funny thing, isn't it? The greater good always seems to involve bigger buildings, higher salaries, and more comfort for the ones at the top. And here's where it gets really clever. They don't just sell you on the idea of tithing, they sell you on the fear of not tithing. Because if they just asked you to give, you might say no. You might think twice. You might start doing the math, start looking at your bills, start realizing that maybe, just maybe, you need that money more than they do. So instead, they say, if you don't give, bad things will happen. They twist it around, make it seem like it's not them asking for money, it's God. And suddenly, it's not a choice anymore, is it? Suddenly, it's a threat, a warning, a test. And they've got stories, oh, so many stories. Stories of people who stopped giving and suddenly lost their jobs, got sick, went bankrupt. Stories of people who dared to hold on to their own money and were punished for it. Coincidence? Oh, that's not what they want you to think. No, 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 they want you to believe that every little bit of bad luck, every little misfortune, every little struggle is because you didn't give enough. And oh, what a brilliant little scam. Because now, even when life is just being life, random, messy, unpredictable, you blame yourself. You run back to them, shaking, desperate, reaching into your pockets to fix it. And the ones collecting, oh, they don't lose sleep. They don't worry about their finances. They don't wonder where their next meal is coming from. Don't stress about paying the rent. Don't panic when the bills pile up. No, 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 because they're living comfortably off the fear, off the guilt, off the blind obedience of the ones below them. And the best part, they've convinced you that this is how it's supposed to be, that this is right, that this is just the way things are. Because power, oh, real power, it's not about having the most. It's about controlling the rules. It's about deciding who wins and who loses. It's about making sure that the game is rigged, but only for the ones at the bottom. Because as long as you believe the rules can't be changed, as long as you think you have to keep playing, the ones at the top will never lose. And that, oh, that's the oldest trick in the book. Funny thing about debts, isn't it? People spend their whole lives running from them, paying them off, worrying about them, letting them hang over their heads like some big dark cloud. But the biggest debt of all, oh, that one isn't even written on paper, isn't kept in some bank, isn't measured in numbers. No, no, no. That one lives in your mind. That one was planted there, oh, long before you ever had a choice. That one whispers to you, follows you, owns you. And the best part? You don't even know you're carrying it. You just accept it. Like air, like gravity, like the rules of the game you were born into, because somewhere along the way, someone told you that you owe, that just by existing, by breathing, by being here, you're already in debt. Not to some banker, not to some lender. No, no, no. That would be too easy. You owe something bigger, something higher, something you can't even see, can't even touch. And the ones who run the system, oh, they just happen to be the collectors. What a coincidence. So they say pay up, but oh, not in cash. No, that's too simple. No, they want your trust. They want your loyalty. They want your submission. And most of all, they want your fear. Because fear is the best currency. Fear never runs out, never inflates, never loses value. Fear keeps people in line. Fear makes sure no one questions the bill. And if you ever do, they have a story for that too. They'll say, what, you don't want to give? You don't want to show your gratitude? You think you're above this? And just like that, you become the problem. You become the greedy one, the selfish one, the one who doesn't understand how the world works. And suddenly, you're not just trying to keep your money, you're trying to prove you're a good person. Because that's the real trap, isn't it? The moment you stop giving, stop obeying, stop playing along, they don't just call you wrong. No. They call you evil. And who wants to be that? So you keep giving, you keep following the rules, you keep doing what they say, keep paying the invisible debt. And every time you do, they give you a little pat on the back, a little smile, a little good, you're doing what's right. But have you noticed? The debt never goes away. No matter how much you pay, no matter how much you sacrifice, there's always more. Another fee, another rule, another requirement. Because the real joke, the debt was never real to begin with. It was created, designed, built, piece by piece, by the ones who needed you to feel small, to feel guilty, to feel like you'd never be enough. And the ones running the system, they don't owe anything. They don't wake up wondering if they've done enough. Don't question if they're giving enough. No. Because they're not the ones paying. You are. They just sit back and collect. And if you ever stop, if you ever wake up and say, wait a minute, maybe I don't owe anything. Maybe I was never in debt. Maybe I don't have to keep paying just to feel like I'm worth something. That's when the panic starts. That's when they double down, pull out every trick in the book to drag you back in. 'Cause they can't afford for people to start thinking. They can't afford for people to start seeing the game for what it is. Because if you stop playing, if you stop paying, what happens to the ones at the top when the people at the bottom stop holding them up?